In this video, we will analyze the match between Real Madrid and Manchester City. Surprisingly, Real Madrid managed to defeat their guest Man City with a convincing score of 3-0. Because many players were injured, including the megastar Mbappe and Bellingham, many people doubted that Madrid would struggle to face Man City. Unexpectedly, the captain Valverde became the star in this match thanks to his hat-trick. His early goal in the 20th minute, taking advantage of a direct build-up in Man City's high line, shocked Pep. Not only that, the player from Uruguay added another goal through a fast attack typical of Real Madrid. Next was a display of tight defense that could not be penetrated even by a team like Man City. Now, curious about how the match went from a tactical perspective? Let's go. Let's discuss it together. Without key players, Arbeloa fielded Brahim Diaz up front with a formation on paper of 4-4-2. They did not use a pure striker. Vinicius operated more on the wing. Valverde was placed on the right wing, and Thiago Peters accompanied Tchouaméni in the middle. Meanwhile, Pep changed his lineup after the loss against Newcastle with Rodri as a single pivot. Husanov was tasked with guarding Vinicius on the right. Savinho and Doku were on the wings. Semenyo was placed up front together with Han. Madrid in the Arbeloa era has the characteristic of playing more fluid with many build-up variations. At the beginning, it can be seen a three-back shape at the back with the fullbacks pushing higher alongside the double pivot. Arda Güler also appears to be on the left side. Although on paper he is placed as a striker, in reality Diaz plays like a number 10 who roams. This makes Valverde and Vini become wide attackers. Another shape appears when Courtois, Rudiger, and Huijsen form a 3-4-4 shape. This time the front line closes in on one side. Valverde is seen moving into the middle. Again, a build-up variation is carried out with Valverde dropping to become the third center back. In the middle there are four players, and in front there are Arda, Thiago, and Vini. Madrid again changes its build-up shape into 3-2-5. Valverde this time is in the middle, together with Thiago, who pushes forward. Mendy is also seen advancing through the half-space corridor. The double pivot is filled by Arda and Tchouaméni, while Brahim Diaz is on the wing. It can be said that Arbeloa does not give fixed positions to his players. This aims to disrupt marking while also making Madrid's attacks more fluid and difficult to predict. Meanwhile, Man City's build-up is more structured with a 3-1-6 shape. Way high, Diaz, Husanov, and Rodri are at the back. To break down the defense, Pep pushes 6 other players forward so that there are 3 to 4 players in the central area. Both teams actually defend with the same shape. However, Madrid is better able to neutralize the attacks of Rodri and Catalan. Arbeloa's team defends with a medium to low block 4-4-2. The ball carrier is relatively allowed, but the passing lanes to the center are closed in order to cover the many players attacking the central area and the half spaces. Valverde also appears to frequently drop down to mark O'Reilly, causing the defensive shape to turn into a compact 5-3-2. However, unfortunately, the 2 low crosses delivered failed to be met by his teammates. This time, they used O'Reilly, who penetrated the half space after receiving a pass, but his crossing was still neutralized by the home side's back line. When they tried to apply switch play, the trend of isolating 1 versus 1 was immediately covered by Valverde, and the cross was once again successfully blocked. In the first half, Man City only recorded 3 shots, and even one of them had no clear direction. Meanwhile, Madrid registered 6 shots, showing effectiveness against the deadlock. From their fluid build-up, Madrid managed to penetrate several times. One of them was through switch play. Man City themselves defended with a compact 4-4-2 block, following the direction where the ball was located. Like this, the defense shifted tightly to the left with the aim of blocking progression toward the goal. When the switch happened, its weakness became visible, namely Valverde and Trent, who were free on the right side. Again, the switch was used to open space on the side farthest from the ball. The 4-4-2 defensive shape of City can also be seen compact near the ball. One chance from a counterattack also relied on width on the opposite side. Thiago was seen supporting in the wide area when Vini carried the ball. Then it was turned back to the middle and returned again to Vini. With high technique, he delivered a chipped pass to Diaz, but unfortunately his shot was still saved by the home goalkeeper. Besides switch play, players in the space between the lines could be accessed easily. City's block was relatively easy to penetrate. Penetrations like this were something City could not do against Madrid. In addition, Madrid's direct build-up was also more effective. Before the goal was seen, they built the attack in the same way. The shape was 4-2-4, and from Courtois, the ball was directed to Valverde. He managed to bounce the ball, and it was continued to Brahim in the space between the lines. The second attempt was carried out with the same 4-2-4 shape. This time, Guhi was lured forward to mark Brahim, who dropped deeper. O'Reilly was less aware of Valverde. Courtois' accurate pass fell perfectly at Valverde's feet, who with his first touch immediately escaped the marking. One more touch took him past the goalkeeper, who seemed hesitant about a handball, so the ball slipped through the gap and Valverde finished it into the goal to make it 1-0. Madrid's effectiveness was once again seen in their second goal. The combination of the ability to bypass the press quickly is evident. A 4-2 shape appears players at the beginning and Courtois chooses the left area to start building the attack. Brahim, who is roaming, is unmarked and can penetrate through the middle. This time, it is Vini's turn to progress from the wing and City's defense is too soft to stop him. His pass deflects off Ruben Dias but falls at the feet of Valverde, who runs onto it and delivers a low shot that Donnarumma cannot reach. 2-0. After that, Real Madrid mostly waited. As seen from this momentum chart, Man City had more possession. In this phase, Madrid defended well. They often immediately formed a 5-defender line to quickly close spaces that could be exposed. Doku, who indeed has high individual ability, was tightly guarded by up to 3 players. Valverde also never missed covering Trent. Pep, who in the second half replaced Savinho with Reinders, also found no solution. Semenyo, who was now placed on the left wing, had minimal contribution when trying to cross from the half space or attempting combinations with Bernardo. The solidity of the defense was supported by a midfield willing to defend. In addition, Courtois' ability under the crossbar strengthened Madrid's clean sheet. A mistake by Bill Apatars almost caused his team to concede, but his lightning reflex denied this chance from O'Reilly. This was the opposite of City's defense, which was too soft and easily penetrated by Vini and his teammates, allowing them to score the third goal because of that fragile defense. Courtois passed the ball to Brahim, who could easily progress through the wing, and Vini also won the duel against Kusanov, who was overrated. The player's action was briefly neutralized, but the ball then moved to the right wing. Tarsaris was without pressure here, and he passed the ball to Brahim, who was also allowed to turn, even though there were 4 players surrounding him. Then came Valverde's off-the-ball movement from the second line, which was met by a beautiful, chipped pass from Brahim over the head of Ruben Dias. Valverde's first touch again deceived the defender, and his shot could not be saved by Donnarumma. 3-0, and City sank even deeper. The problem of weak defense still could not be anticipated by Pep Guardiola. Brahim Diaz again cut in from the wing without significant pressure. He was even able to penetrate into the penalty box despite being surrounded and took a shot that was still saved by Donnarumma. Madrid could even have been ahead by more than 3 goals if Vini's penalty had not been saved. Once again, City's defense, which was positioned too high, was easily bypassed by a pass from Brahim Diaz. Vini's speed could not be matched and Donnarumma had to bring him down. Unfortunately, the penalty failed. Overall, Madrid's performance in this match deserves credit, especially in the defensive aspect, which was the opposite of Man City. A 3-goal margin is a huge advantage that will make City's job at the Etihad very difficult. Anything can happen in the UCL. We should wait to see what surprises will appear in the second leg.